Okay, so this is the error here. Mm, let me ask another thing. Mm. What is the output of this program? Guys, the second one. So we have one interface. In the interface, I declared one variable and one method. Okay. So I mean, I am doing method overriding here. Okay, child class has a same method which is defined in the parent. Okay. So what is the output here?
10.
10. Okay. Are you sure? Who is it? Priyanshu.
Yes,
Ketan.
sir. Ketan.
Okay, Ketan. Whatever. We get a random. The output will be 10. That's it. No.
So maybe we have to use default for calling the I.
No, if you want to write any method body, then only you
Mm,
can have default. No?
okay.
If you want to write any method body, you have to use default. Just check the code. Please review the code by line by line. Sandeep, Rupa, anyone. So we have one interface. In the interface, we have one static variable and one method. Okay. So we are implementing the class. So what is the output here? For sure, it will not print 10. I'm sure. So it will raise two types of errors. Okay, you will get two errors in this case. Okay, you cannot write a method body in the interface. Okay, so you cannot use a brackets. If you use these braces, okay, that defines method body. So you will get an error here. Okay, if you write like this, then it's okay. Okay, if you write any braces here, okay, this is considered as the method body. So you cannot write method body in the interface. So definitely you'll get an error here. And the second error in this program is, okay, when you are implementing a, okay, overriding concept in the interfaces. Okay, when you are writing a overriding for abstract method which is defined in the interface. Okay, then that method should be, okay, then the method should be public. Okay, so you have to use public keyword for sure. In the interface, okay, we don't need to use the public keyword because by default it will take public and abstract for sure. Okay, so if you are overriding the method which is defined in the interface, then you have to use public keyword for sure. Okay, so in this program we have a two types of errors. Okay, one is by, I mean, you didn't use public keyword for the method and you are writing the method body here. You cannot write the method body in the interface. If you want to write the method body, then you have to use default keyword. Okay, so just remove the brackets and leave the public here, then it will work for sure. Then it will print 10. Okay, is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So shall we do another program on the interfaces?
Yes, sir.
Mm, create one class here. Okay, class Java class. Java class simple, or no need to write something like void my method. So We have one class which is named as a Java class, and we have a one interface which is a simple. Okay, so here the my class. Okay, mm, so I'm writing one main method in the my class. So here in the my class, I'm creating the object of my class. Okay, my class, something like m1 equal to new my class. Okay, by using the m1 object, by using the m1 object, I want to access my method. Okay, so here what is the output of this program? See, we have one interface named as a simple. Okay, and we have a one class which is named as a Java class. Java class has one method which is a my method. Okay, so here the my class extending Java class along with the simple interface. Okay, so what is the output of this program? Shall we create a class like this? Is it legal in Java? Can you create this?
No, sir, I think we only implement two interfaces, not the class and an interface.
Okay. Okay, so you are saying that you can implement by using two different interfaces.
Yes, but
Oh,
we can't use a class and an interface.
okay, now it's completely legal. So you can create a multiple inheritance. You can have one child, one parent class along with one parent interface. It's completely okay. So this is also meant by the multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance obviously supported by interfaces. So we are using interface, one interface and one class. It is completely okay. So what is the output of this code?
Sir, maybe hello world if SOP
Definitely,
is not
yeah, definitely it will print hello world for sure. Okay, and the output of this code will be hello world. It won't raise any error because in Java we can implement multiple inheritance by using interfaces. So one class may have one parent class and one parent interface. Okay, so this program won't raise any error. Okay, okay, and give me a minute. Give me a minute. Hello, sorry. Yeah, so it's completely okay to create an interface and a program like this. Okay, it won't raise any error. Hmm. And so what is the output of following program? Is that okay?
No,
Hello?
sir.
Why?
Sir, here interface simple extend Java class and
Hmm.
interface only implements interface.
Hmm. Very good. So when you are using different situation, when you are using different blocks, like when you are implementing an interface by using a class, or when you are creating a class by using an interface, in that type of situations, you have to use implements keyword. But when you are using a class from a class or a interface from a interface, then you can use the extends keyword. Okay, the keyword we are using in our program is wrong. Okay, so you have to change this program, you have to change this keyword as implements. Now it is completely okay. Okay, so we are creating a child interface by using the parent class. Okay, so now it is okay. So this is how you need to use the keywords. Okay. Hmm. uh, and I want to ask one more thing. Java class. Okay, so we have a main method. Okay, and I want to create separate object for Java class. Hmm. Give me a minute. So M1 is the object of Java class. Okay. So assume you have to here you have to perform method overriding technique. Okay, you have to perform method overriding. Okay, so actually I'm using extends keyword here. Extends I want to create another object here. I mean web class. Okay, we have two different type of classes. One is Java class and one is web class. Okay, so Java class is the child of web class. Okay, so Java class is the child of web class. Okay, so here I gave you one task. Okay, here I gave you one task. Okay, you have to implement method overriding technique here without seeing web class file. Okay, without seeing web class file. Okay, so in my program class web class. mm, so what is the important rules to use, I mean to implement method overriding technique? So I want to implement method overriding technique. Okay, so what is the important rules in method overriding? What are the points that you consider when you are implementing method overriding?
Same method name with same argument of parent class.
Okay, same method name and the same mark. So public void my method. Okay, so I have public void method in the web class, and I have okay public void method in the child class also. Okay, so now it is completely okay. We will get the output for sure. Okay, so what in case, okay, what in case, so you didn't know about this particular thing. Okay, for example, Rahul is doing okay method overriding technique. Okay, Priyanshu creates one class called web class. Okay, web class is completely created by Priyanshu. Okay, and Rahul wants to create method overriding technique by using the web class. Okay, so you don't know about the methods that included in parent class, right? So how can you check, okay, how can you check this my method is presented in parent or not? So you don't know about the web class. Okay, because okay Priyanshu is implementing web class, so you don't know about the method, okay, that Priyanshu created in the parent class. Okay, so you have to create method overriding technique without checking the Priyanshu web class. Okay, so what to do now? You don't know about the parent, but you have to create the method overriding technique. You have to implement it. How can you implement method overriding without seeing the parent class? So do you know anything here? It's a very simple thing. Anyone?
Sir,
See, hmm.
abstract class useful for.
No. So you can't change the class into, you can't change the class structure. That is a project. You can't change the classes and you can't change the interfaces like that. Okay, you have to use only classes.
We,
That is a project
we
section.
can use super class, super keyword.
Super keyword is used when, so a method, I mean, object of the class is created, no? So what if this main class is also not there? Okay, main class is designed by Sandeep. Okay, you have only Java class. Okay, assume this main class is also not there. So how to create a method overriding now? So when you are creating an object only, then only super keyword best uses, na? So you don't know about the main class also. So what to do now? Anybody? So we don't know about the parent class and we didn't have any main class. You have only one child class. You have to implement method overriding technique here. So how to implement method overriding technique without knowing the main class or a super or a parent class? I can do it in single shot. One just a single shot. One just a line of code. One line of code. That's it. Any guesses? Okay, so you can use annotations here. Okay, in Java we have a annotations. Okay, so the annotations to check, okay, for overriding technique is override. Okay, when you use this override annotation in, I mean, in front of your overriding method, it will check for the parent class. If parent class has same method, okay, as you defined in the child class, then it will compile the program. If the parent class of your program, if the parent class doesn't have any method as you mentioned in the child class, then it will raise an error here. Okay, so here we can use the annotations. Okay, at the rate override. At the rate override is a annotation which is used to check the, okay, mentioned method in the parent, mentioned method in the child class, okay, is implemented in the parent or not. Okay, so this is the one of the best annotations that you have to understand. Okay, so when you are writing a code in the Eclipse, or when you are writing the code in the, something like Prince tool suite, okay, these annotations will be default, but we are writing this program in the notepad, so this you have to use these annotations when you are implementing this program in, Eclipse or a Spring tool suite. Okay, by default you will get these annotations. Okay, since we are using a notepad, we didn't have any plugins for Java, so you have to use it manually. So at the rate override is the annotation which is used to check the method is presented in the parent class or not. Okay, so this is the one of the best advantages of Java annotations. We can have these annotations when you are telling, when you are, okay, learning the J unit. In J unit we can have different types of annotations. Okay, I'll explain those things in J unit. Okay, is that okay? At the right override. Shall we check for this? Shall we compile this code? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll compile this code. We'll try to execute this. Mm, we have one web class and one method, and we created a object for Java class. Okay, everything is perfect. So let's compile this code. 080822. Mm, my class.java. Okay. Mm, cmd top slot one programs 808. Java C space class dot Java. Okay. Mm. We have to write system dot out dot println. This one. Okay, successfully compiled. Now you can see the output of this program. Okay, we got hello world. Okay, so I am removing, sorry, I am adding override here, but I am removing the method. Okay, I am removing the method. Okay, see, now web class doesn't have any methods, but we are implementing method overriding technique in Java class. Okay, so try to compile this program now. See, we'll definitely got an error here. Okay, see, error, method does not override or implement a method from super type. Okay, you are mentioning the method which is not presented in parent class. Okay, so we'll get an error here by using this overriding in annotations. Okay, so you can check for the parent class, is that parent class having the method which is defined in the child class or not. When you are implementing method overriding technique, so better to use override annotations. Okay, is clear?
Yes, sir.
Even I didn't mention this. Okay, even I didn't have any annotations or I didn't have any methods. Okay, still we'll get an output. See, we got the output as earlier, but we are not okay. Here we are not mentioning method overriding technique because our parent class doesn't have anything, doesn't have any main method. Okay, so it's not a I mean, we got the output, but it's not a method overriding technique, right? Okay, method overriding means your parent class and your child class must has a one method which is in the same in the I mean, arguments, number of arguments we pass, and the return type. Okay, so you have to use it like this. Okay, to check for the parent method, you have to use override annotations. O should be capital. Override. Okay, now this is the perfect code for method overriding. I think you got it. Is it okay, boys?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Hmm.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, let's discuss something here. Okay, so in Java, okay, in Java, we have two different types of blocks. In Java, we have two different types of blocks other than a constructor and a method. So, see, I mean, till now, we discussed about methods, we discussed about the constructors, right? So, in Java, we have two other types of, okay, blocks of code. So, which is a instance initializer block. Instance, okay, initializer. Okay. Instance initializer block is used to initialize the instance data members. Okay, we have instance variables, right? So when you are having a instance variables, okay, where is our program? Here is our program. So here, let's remove everything. Okay, here I am declaring one instance variable which is a int I equal to 5. Okay, and I want to change I value here, and I'm using I plus 5. Okay, now I want to print dot out dot I value, println I value. Okay, so what is the output of this particular code? Actually, we need to create object for web class. Okay, so we have one web class and we have my class. In my class, I am creating the object of web class. By using the object of web class, I am accessing the method, my method. Okay, before defining my method, I used, okay, I created one, okay, instance variable which is a I. Okay, and I want to change the value of instance value. Okay, I want to change the variable, I mean value of the instance. Okay, so that's why I used I plus equal to 5. Is that okay? Will we got output? What is output? So in this case, we will definitely have one error for sure. Okay, because you cannot write any operations. Okay, you cannot perform any operations outside of a method. Okay, you can create instance variables in the outside of the method, but you cannot have, okay, any operations which is the outside of the method. If you want to perform any operations which is the outside of the method, then you have to use something special. Okay, in this case definitely you will get an error. See, we'll get an error. Okay, unexpected identifier. We don't know about this I plus equal to 5 what it is. So you have to mention this particular statement within the my method, but you don't want to mention, okay, you don't want to mention this operation in the my method. Okay, I don't want to mention this I plus 5 equal to in my method. So here I want to create one special block of code. That block of code is known as the instance initializer block. Okay, I am creating one block with empty name. Okay, I'm creating one block with empty name. I didn't have any name or any access specifier. I didn't have any static keyword or void anything. Okay, this is completely empty. So this is meant by the instance initializer block. Okay, let's write this program, I mean compile this. See, no errors. By running this program we will get the output. So by running this program we got 10 here, because okay, this is a block of code which is a very special in Java. Okay, this block of code is known as the instance initializer block, IIB, instance initializer block. Okay, by using this instance initializer block you can perform any operations on the instance variables, and you can perform any out, I mean you can print any output statement before invoking the method. Okay, this instance initializer block is going to execute when, okay, this block is going to executed when the object of, when the object of that class is created. Okay, we created, okay, see, we created something here na. So we created an object for web class. When the object of web class created at a runtime, then the instance initializer block got access as similar to the constructor. Okay, so instance initializer block is very similar to the constructor when it is executed. Okay, the syntax is completely different than the constructor. Okay, but when the constructor and when the instance initializer block comes for the execution, both are executed when object of a class is created. Okay, this instance is created when the object of the class is created. Okay, if you didn't create any object for that particular class, then it won't execute for sure. Okay, so this is meant by the instance initializer block. Okay, which is used to initialize the or print the data values or data numbers which is outside of the method. You can perform any operations in the outside of the method by using this instance initializer block. Okay, so did you understand this instance initializer block? Uh-oh, hello.
Yes, sir.
So I
Yes,
can
sir.
write this.
Yes, sir.
So instance initializer block is used to initialize the instance data values or perform operations on instance variables. Okay, instance variables. Okay, which is I mean outside of the method, but inside of the class. Okay, we can create this instance initializer block to I mean to initialize instance data values or to perform operations on the instance variables in the outside of the class, but I mean in the outside of the method, but inside of the class for sure. Okay, so this IIB, this instance initializer block is invoked. IIB can invoked when an instance of the class is created. When the instance of the object is, I mean, instance of the class is created. Okay, this is meant by the IIB, instance initializer block. Okay. Mm, and this can be execute, IIB can execute after parent class constructor. Okay, if you have any constructor, no, so that particular, okay, IIB can execute after executing the constructor. Okay, so this is meant by the instance initializer block, which is very new in Java. Okay, yes, so this is meant by the instance initializer block. Okay, the next one, very next one, so we have another method also, we have another block of code also, that is meant by the static. Okay, that is meant by static. Okay, so static is the keyword, static is a keyword which is used to, so I mean, what is the use of static keyword? When you use a static keyword for a method, you don't need any object for the calling that particular method. If you use a static keyword for a variable, then you can use that variable in all the instance of the class, right? So you can create a static method also, which is a very similar to this particular instance initializer block. Okay, which is very similar to instance initializer block. Okay, so let's create something here. Mm, right now, I don't want any web class and all. Okay, I need only one particular method. Static int I. Okay, I equal to something, 7. Uh, Now I want to create one static method here. So static, okay, static. So I want to create something here. What? Out dot println, println, and I'm printing hello, I am static. Okay, we are printing something, that's it. And I want to print the value of I value. Okay, the I value here. System dot out dot println I value. Okay, let's compile this code. System dot out dot. Okay, sorry, spelling mistake. See, the program is successfully compiled. Now run this program. Java my class. Okay, so we didn't initialize any object here. Did we create any object here for my class? No, we didn't have any object for my class. But still, okay, this static method works. Okay, we are not mentioning it in the main method. Okay, so did we call any method here in the main? No, we are just printing the value here. Okay, even if you are not calling a static method, it will execute for sure. Okay, you are not creating object for the static method, you are not creating a method call for the static method, but still this method, okay, this static method can execute before executing the main method. Okay, when you are writing static method and main method, okay, so static method will execute first. See, we got the output first, I mean, we got the hello I am static. That means, I mean, the JVM executes static method first, then it comes for the main method. Okay, this static method can execute before executing the main method. So this is the best usage of static method if you want to execute. Okay, if you want to execute, okay, a static method, okay, then you can use this particular thing. Okay, I don't want to maintain any main method in our program. Okay, so let's remove this main. Okay, let's save this program. See, we got compiled, and I mean now it will raise an error. Okay, so because I mean your program must has a main, but before executing the main, okay, before executing the main only the static method is going to execute. Okay, so you need a main. Okay, you just need a main. Okay, in the main method you don't need any object, or you don't need to write any method call for invoking this particular static method. Okay, static method is completely different from instance initializer block, because instance initializer block is going to execute when the method call is, or when a object is created for the class. But the static method don't need any object. Static method don't need any method call. Okay, see, our main is empty, but still we can get the output. Okay, so this is the main advantages of, okay, static method in Java. Okay, we can have constructors, we can have instance initializer block, we can have static methods, and we can have this main method or a normal methods. Okay, a class can have any type of thing. You can write any different methods, you can write any different blocks of code. Okay, so static method uh, is used to execute, no, block of code before executing the main method. Before executing main method, the static method the static method doesn't need any object to invoke, or any method call to invoke this particular program. Okay, this is the use of static method in Java. Okay, guys, are you clear about instance initializer block and static blocks? Silences goes around the class. What's happening?
Sir, instant initializer blocks
Hmm.
can be used in static methods. I mean static class.
No, see, instance initializer block and the static method you can use. See,
No, I'm saying static class. In
you
you
want to
said
execute this like this, no?
yes, sir.
No, you can't.
Okay. So that means we need object for it.
You need a object, right?
Okay.
Actually, it won't execute for sure. You can't write this type of statements. You can't write any methods, no?
Hmm.
So this is not a particular method. No? This is not a special block. This is just a part of code. Okay, as like a if, as like a for. Okay, so you can't write like it. See, now we'll get output like, now we got only the static method. Okay, we didn't get any output for by using this I mean instance initializer block, because why we are not getting the output which is mentioned in the IIB. Hello.
We need the object.
Yeah, to if you want to execute this particular block of code, instance initializer block, then you need an object. You
Hmm.
need to create an object for my class. See, my
Okay.
class m1 equal to new my class.
So what if we make the class static?
How can you make a class as a static? No, that's completely illegal.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Now you got the output of instance initializer block as well. Okay, when you are creating the object of that particular class, when you are creating the new instance for the class, then only that instance initializer block is going to execute. But when you, I mean, when you are using a static keyword, when you are using a static block of code, you don't need any object, you don't need any method call. Okay, that is the main difference between static method and instance initializer block.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so what about others? Astosh, Rupa, Sandeep, are you clear with this? The static block and instance initializer block.
Yes, sir. So,
Hmm.
can we use operations in static block?
Can we use?
Operations.
Yeah, you can. Let's try to run this. You are 15 here. Okay, Sandeep, you can use. So you can create, I mean, so any if someone asks you to write a program for Hello World, you can write in it these type things. Okay, so I mean, many of the people writing the if interviewer asked, okay, if Java, I mean, Capgemini or any interviewer asked you to write a Hello World program, you can write in these types of codes. Okay, you can create a static method. Okay, you can create an empty main method. So the output will definitely come. If you, I mean, you can create an instance initializer block. You can create a object for that particular block. Okay, then you will get a output sure. Okay, so interviewer not asking you to create a normal hello world program. Okay, they want to, I mean, they want to check your understanding around the Java, so that's why they asked you to write a hello world program in I mean interviews. Many of the people ask, I mean, asked me that, sir, I mean, the interviewer asked me about writing the hello world program. How silly is this? Okay, so you are a silly girl. He is not a silly person. He asked you because he want to know, I mean, how much you are familiar with the different blocks of Java. Okay, so please remember, if any interviewer asked you to write a hello world program, you can use either static block or you can use either static, I mean, this instance initializer block, or there is a any, I mean, there is a special structure to write a hello world program in Java. Okay, there is another method to write a hello world program. So do you want to know that? Can I explain you that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have a shells in Python, right? So we can have the, you know, so the best usage of Python is to, I mean, we can decrease the number of lines of code. Okay, here I am having Python. If I write anything like, you know, 12 plus 5 here, it will print 17 automatically. If I write a print method, print, you know, I think I forgot Python actually. Hello. We got the output as hello, right? By using same syntax. Okay, you can write a Java program in command prompt. So did you know that? Did you know how to write a Java program in command prompt? We don't need any main method. We don't need any class. We don't need to create any object. So still we can write the Java program in the command prompt. Do you know that?
No, sir.
So in Java, we have one special feature called JShell. Okay, CLS. So here I can type JShell. Okay, JShell is available in the, okay, Java library from Java 8th version onwards, I think so. Okay, you can enter. I mean, you can enter into the JShell by typing the command in the command prompt. So JShell, enter. Okay, this is the JShell. Okay, so you can write system.out.println here directly. Hello world. Okay, so just click the enter button. You will definitely have output. Okay, you can write Java programs in the shell programming also, I mean, command prompts also, as like in the Python. Okay, you can add the things. 12 plus 5 here, I'm entering 12 plus 5, you will have it 17. Okay, 25 plus 2, 50. Okay, you can have the different types of operations in the command prompt. Okay, so this is one of the best features of Java. If interviewer asked you, okay, to write a hello world program, so better to use this, so they'll impress for sure. So you have to impress interviewer, right? So you cannot write the basic main method, you cannot write a basic system dot out dot println in the main method. Okay, so that anybody can do, but only the developers, only the persons who are very familiar with Java, those persons who are having a great knowledge in Java can do this type of programs. So when interviewer asks you to write a hello world program, so you can use this J shell to write your Java program. Okay, so J shell, is that
Yeah.
okay?
Okay.
Guys, got it? Sandeep, Rupa, Astosh, Ketan.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Hmm. So if you want to go ahead and use this particular J shell, you can use backslash exit. Okay, it will say goodbye and you can go out. Okay, you have to use a backslash exit for sure. Okay, this is a very new feature in Java. Okay, so many of the people don't know about this type of features in Java. Okay, so when my graduation is completed in 2017. Okay, like I completed my BSc in 2017. So from that day, okay, from 2007 onwards, many people are telling me to shift my domain. Okay, because Java is dying in nowadays, but still Java is a king when you are developing a web applications or when you are developing a different types of applications. Okay, if anybody asked you to switch your domain to Python or some other language, okay, you can proudly say still Java is the strongest language on the planet. Okay, Java has lot of features, many people don't know about the features of Java, that's it. You are not good in Java, but Java is so good. Okay, so remember these types of important points, these are the special features. You won't get this in any of a website. Okay, you don't get these particular things in the websites like Java T point or W3 schools. Okay, they will teach you the basic syntax, the basic student syntax. Don't follow the basic student syntax when you are going with an interviews. Okay, so these are the special methods that are available in Java. Okay, so that's what I want to explain. Okay, everything is clear, no? Everything clear about instance blocks, interfaces, abstraction, and static blocks, and this J shell. So if you have any doubt, please let me know. Okay, because we are starting a new concept called I forgot, packages, encapsulation. After completing the encapsulation, we can install the Spring tool suite. Okay, in the tool suite, we can write different types of programs. Yes, Priyanshu, you can ask.
So we can use multiple static in the one class or
We
not?
can use multiple.
Multiple static methods.
Right. Better to write something like this. System.out.println. Hello, Priyanshu. Okay. So Java C, my class dot Java. Java my class. Okay. You got the output here. You can write
Oh,
any number of static blocks or you can write any number of instance initializer blocks in a class.
okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So shall we start encapsulation alias Java packages? So Java packages is also very interesting things. So after completing this Java packages, no, okay, you can download Java STS. STS download. STS meant by Spring Tool Suite. Okay, so download the Spring Tool Suite. You will get a jar file here. Okay, so I'll explain you how to install the Spring Tool and all. Okay, so we don't need any Eclipse now. Eclipse is a so heavy. Okay, when you are running a Eclipse, your RAM will die for sure. Okay, so that's why we have a lighter version as a Spring toolsuit. Okay, I mean, in the Spring toolsuit, you can have a all features that you can develop with the Spring Boot and all. Okay, so Spring Suite also one of the best editor for Java. Okay, you can download Spring Tool Suite. And okay, companies, okay, when you joined a company in any other company like Capgemini or essentially any MNC company, okay, if you want to I mean, if you are a programmer in Java, then you have to use only the Spring. Okay, you can't use a Eclipse Oxygen, Eclipse Mars anymore. Okay, so all companies switched their IDU to Spring Tool Suite. Okay, so better to learn STS for sure. Okay, so if you are familiar with Spring Tool Suite, then you will definitely have a knowledge on, okay, Eclipse. Okay, so you will have a advanced versions, you will have a advanced extensions in the Spring Tools rather than in a Eclipse. So better to download this Spring Tool Suite